What is up, riders? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to part 3 of the BWS sleeper build. Last video we did the BWS engine. We built it up, making it a proper sleeper. You can't even tell. In this video we are doing this chassis and putting everything back together, and hopefully it will be riding at the end of this video. Let's check it out. Alright, I think first things first is we put the motor back on the table so that we can fit the stator and we can fit the exhaust.
Just sit you go around the front of the freaking thing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. There we go. So we'll get this all sorted and closed up, and then we can stick the exhaust on before we stick it in the frame. I think it'll be easier. I also like to look at it, you know, standing here, built motor. And then, yeah, we can get it done. So let's do that. Alright guys, so Dad just put in the stator. Thank you, Dad. Now I get to do the fun, easy stuff. Give him all the hard stuff. We are going to take this pipe and we're going to de-restrict it. So if you have a look in here, it's got a little bit of a smaller opening there just to restrict it for homologation purposes. So we need to take this out because we don't have to worry about that. As well as we have a silencer here, and this silencer also has a bit of a restriction. So what we have to do is open up the silencer, break that out. It's just got tack welds on them, and then we can assemble the pipe and actually mount it. I want to mount it on the bench here. I think it's going to look awesome, and I kind of, you know, I'm excited to do it. So we'll do that before we put the motor in. So first things first, let's break out these welds. I don't think so. I might have to. Oh shit. Now how do I get the thing up? Pretty easy. Not really. Okay, so we've got that side out now. So as you can see, now it's de-restricted. It's completely open. The motor can breathe. We don't need that now. We're going to do the silencer. So we've got the Stage6 Street Pro, which means it's obviously homologated. So we're going to take off the end of the silencer. We've got to fit the end anyway with the O-rings in here. So let's take this off with our 10 and then de-restrict this as well.
So you gotta, oh, there we go.
Am I taping it?
Yes, you're going to slide it out.
Yeah. There you have it. Don't need this anymore. Okay. Now we can get to this. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we pre-assembled the silencer, and now we're going to put it onto the pipe so we can mount the pipe onto the motor. So I am going to put a little bit of copper slip inside. So we've got some copper slip here inside the exhaust, just a little bit to prevent it from seizing up and just preventing any oxidization as well. We've got a little bit of a joint here, and we just want to coat it so that it's sealed nicely. Okay. All right, let's stick it on. What is this, a 12? Alright, that's on at a point where I'm happy to stick it on the motor. We'll tighten up and stick the spring on afterwards. So Dad, you want to hold this for me? And I will turn the motor around. There we go. Yeah, buddy. Cool, let's do it. Last thing, spring. Alright, Dan, that looks pretty sick. I think we should put the shroud on now and then get some cool B-roll. So let's do that quickly. Alright, so now we're on to fitting up the frame. We've got the powder coated frame right here. We're just cleaning up the areas to put in the steering bearings. We're going to start with the steering bearings and the steering column so we can get it kind of in place before we put the engine in. So let's do that. We forgot something, so we knew we were going to do that. We forgot to put this on, so off it comes. Other way. Yeah, that way. So we didn't get audio on this clip. I'm gonna blame my dad, don't tell him that. But we basically, what I was trying to say was we tapped out all the powder coated threads. So any threads that had been powder coated over, we did tap them again. And then I wanted to show you guys that we use an RV46 Ravenel multi-spray, basically a lubricant, anti-corrosive. So we sprayed it in every single hole so that the bolts wouldn't seize up in the future and that exposed metal doesn't rust. Now we're moving on to the front wheel. I was just explaining that we're using the same brake shoes. We had the hub powder coated and we had everything just cleaned and reinstalled. Editor Jean here again, and what I just wanted to say here was we are going to stick the motor in, which is super exciting. I've got the axle bolt here in my hand for some reason, can't remember what I was saying, but let's stick it in. Cool guys, so the next step I think we should do is, we actually have no Malossi on the bike right now, so we're going to stick on this Malossi RS1 shock. We are going to run the 280mm shock. I think standard is 240 mils on the BWS, so we are running a taller shock. Not as tall as the BWS 100. We normally run a 300, but this is the shock. Check it out, made by Paoli for Malossi, and I think that's pretty awesome. All right, let's stick it in. Don't forget the R clip, so we're going to put it in now.
on the top.
Sweet. Now, this is exactly the reason why we're not going to run the center stand, because we're going to run a kind of a steeper rake on the rear. We're going to take out this and we are going to run the side stand, which we'll put on later. But I think for now, let's finish up closing up the engine with its shrouds and get the airbox on, the carb on, and check if it fits, because I know we had an issue with my one. The airbox was quite tied up against the shock. So let's see how that all fits and continue with the build.
Cool, man. So before we carry on, and stuck in the oil tank, put in a new oil line. We're just using a silicone one that runs down here to the pump. The next thing to do is we're going to put in some Malossi 7.1 Sport engine oil. This is the semi-synthetic, if I remember correctly. Anyway, we're going to top it up with that and then bleed the oil pump so that we don't have any airlocks in the oil system. Smells nice. Basically 1 liter in here. Alrighty. Oh look, there's one fucking bolt broken. Okay, we're going to use the Motorforce racing coil. We're going to use this, well, I'm going to try and use this cap, but we need to route it through the bottom of the frame over here. So the cap has to come off. And then let's squeeze through there. And then it's going to sit there. At least we've got a nice long lead.
All right, so before we go too far, I think we should do the wiring loom. So we've got it here complete, straight off the bike basically. Just giving it a bit of a clean. It's a bit of a mess. Luckily it's a small-ish loom. So let's stick that on now to make sure it's gonna go on before we go too far. I really don't want to run into issues like we have been. So let's do that.
Cool, some nice new indicators from Straight Design, STR8. I'm going to stick these on so we can just get the wiring sorted out. And then clean up the one earth. And yeah, it's basically just keep going. Hopefully we don't have to remove items every time when we get it wrong. I wouldn't mind putting heat shrink.
Alright, so we're at this point now where we've got pretty much the oil, some of the wiring done up, the battery wiring's ready to go. We've got the battery on trickle charge, pretty much everything sorted, and the front is coming together nicely. We do have a few brake cables that we got from Motorforce, and as you remember in the beginning, or in the last video actually, the front brake cable is not the right length So basically these ends of the cable are slightly wrong on the brakes as well as the length. And I think the throttle cable is a little bit out. So what we're going to do is take that to the cable guy, get them all lengthened and shortened to the correct lengths according to the old cables. So yeah, let's take that, and then when we come back we can continue with this. Alright guys, it's been a few days. We've got the cables back from our cable guy. We've got the right connections on. Everything's ready to go, so let's do all the cables. Then I want to do the fuel tank, which we also got back from Bernard, who did a great job spraying that. And then we can stick a battery in, get it started. I also got, keeping with the restoration theme, I couldn't keep these shrouds. They look decent, but I couldn't keep these shrouds. So we got some straight design, standard looking shrouds, so we'll be replacing that, as well as the engine shroud, the cylinder shroud. So before we start her up and before she gets hot, I'm going to also stick these on. Sure, okay, we are getting one step closer to starting the scooter, but to be able to do that, we got to fit the carburetor. So we're still going with the stock. I think this is a 12mm carb, something like that. So we're going to fit this back on. We've got all the hoses and, not hoses, throttle cables, brake cables, all sorted. So we got to stick this on, get our new throttle cable connected to the splitter, and go from there. Let's do it. Alright, carb is on, thank you Dad. We have now also a Motorforce airbox. The other one was a bit scratched and we got to go new on this restoration. So Motorforce generic airbox. Again, we're running the stock carb, so we're not going to run crazy pod filters or anything. This is a sleeper build, so with that comes a stock airbox. We've also got a stock Motorforce fresh air filter in here. So let's get this mounted. I am worried about the shock. We have gone taller with the shock and thicker with the shock. My one had that issue, but I think it should be fine. So let's see how this fits. Alright guys, so with a little bit of struggle and the help of my dad, we got it on. So I'm just going to put this filter back on and put this back on. But it comes with these ugly, like chrome plated or plated screws, whatever. The Motorforce screw kit that we got comes with nice black ones, so it's going to look a lot better. And I know we got chrome or zinc plated screws everywhere, but I think the black's just going to look clean. The other one looks a little cheap as well. You get some like these that look good. These look like hardware screws, I think. So we're gonna go with these black ones. So much better. for the mic. Okay, ready to get it started up, right?
Gas station.
The gas station. I got some gas. Nah, guys, this is petrol.
Yeah,
Petrol. Petroleum, right? So, I mean, this is a tiny tank. So, this is an insight into South Africa. This was 50 rand or 50 rands.
How many liters?
I think it's about 2 liters. It's like more than 2 liters because I think it's 20 something rand a liter.
Yeah.
And I said 50 bucks. And I'm pretty sure it's like 22 rand a liter. Not a lot of fuel, but just enough to get us going. This is fun.
Expensive, huh?
Yeah, it is. So let's fill it up. Remember, we've got fresh 2-stroke oil, Malossi 7.1 2-stroke oil. One of the best oils you can have. Yo, can't wait to get it started.
We should be able to start it up now.
No, we will. We started it now.
Okay.
I mean, the starter button's connected, battery's in.
Don't throw the last little bit in, because there might be shit in there.
Too late. Oh, that's almost a full tank. That's crazy. Can you see in there?
No.
Look how close it is to the top. That so probably 60 bucks will fill this up. 70 bucks maybe. That's worrying. So this tank is probably about 3 liters.
Yeah.
Because this
But
was
that's fine.
just over 2.
You should get about 150k.
150 Ks on this.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, because it was a small capacity, 50 cc. Wow. Okay. All right. I think the time is now. I need to get the key. Shall we start it?
Well, let's see what it does.
Let's
See if it works. The battery is connected.
let's see if the indicator works.
It's not connected.
Oh, is it not? Okay.
Is the ignition even plugged in?
Yes.
Okay.
Ignition's in.
Okay, look. See if it starts. No.
Interesting. Okay. Take 2. All right. It would help plugging in the starter button. But anyway, it's done now. So we haven't even started the bike. So let's try it now. We did actually get the indicators. Can you see that?
Yeah.
We got the indicators working. Plugged in everything because Hooter works. So brake light works.
Cool.
Everything. So I think it's time to start. It might swing for a bit. We haven't got the fuel through.
Carburetor yet. Fuel coming through, hold on.
Whoa! It's nice and
Actually easier.
it's quiet.
Maybe choker.
Yeah, let's so is the choke
You have to
connected?
hold it.
Oh yeah. The starter mode is louder than the bike, so I can't hear when it's running. See, you can't hear when the motor's running. Oh. Very smoky. It's nice and quiet. Wow. I like it. Very quiet. And smoky. Probably have to set the idle. Oops. Yeah, we'll probably have to set the idle once it's warm. Super exciting to see it run. Very dramatic entrance with all the smoke. I think do you think it's safe enough, since we started it, to get the body panels on?
Yeah, I know.
Because I always like to say, don't put the body panels on until a year's run. So now we can do that. So let's get some body panels on, the seat on, and then we can probably putt around in the parking lot.
Okay, cool, man. Panels are a bit clean. They're not polished, but as clean as they can be, Winnie. He's inspecting. Is it good? Fucking mad dog. Mamma mia. I don't think we need to do anything to that. Yeah, let's rock and roll with that. I remember there's slots in like that. Okay, so last panel to go on is this tuner cover. It's not a straight design because can't remember why we didn't get a straight design. Okay, so this is the original without any holes in it. Oh, this is nice. Splinter knit. Our Dutch friends would know what that means. Where does it actually go into, or does it not go into anything? Does it just clip in?
Just clips in.
It's like there's a screw part for it, but like there isn't a part for it.
That's because it goes with the body kit.
There we go.
It's one shade lighter.
It's
actually a couple shades lighter.
Yeah, well, that's pearl white, and it's gloss white. But I have a feeling that once this is all together and he's ridden it, he's going to want to go for new body panels and I think a new paint job. There's a lot of marks on it that like just kind of, look at this, like everything's cracked and whatever. So the plastic is old, but I think imagine like new plastics but original pearl white with the blue original decals will match everything like identical. It'll look insane. Make sure you guys like and subscribe these videos so that we can do more like this and we can actually do more to this bike. That'll be great.
Alright guys, so we're basically there. There's only a few more things to do. Basically the grips and the mirrors. Technically it's rideable, but I'd like to put some grips on. The problem is we want to run these Stage 6 black grips, but these grips are actually quite short. The standard grips and the standard length is quite short, so it's going to overhang. It's going to be a problem. You're going to have this like loose end on the bar. So we might put some bar ends into here, cut open the throttle tube, extend them, or get another throttle tube, extend the bar so that we can run proper regular size grips. So we're going to do that probably another day, but we'll get to that. I still need to get some mirrors, so we'll get those and then we can ride around in the parking lot. So let's do that. Alright guys, so I think it's time to take it around the parking lot. We still don't have the grips on. We're going to figure that one out. Don't need mirrors for the parking lot. So I think we just take it for a spin and see how it rides. It starts so easily. This was cold, like I haven't started it at all. We're actually a couple days later and this thing is ice cold. I don't know how to prove it to you. Let's touch the exhaust. You know, some people do that when they sell bikes. They like touch the engine, touch the exhaust to make sure it's a cold start. Alright, I think it's time. I think it's warm enough. Let's go. It's very cold. Very cold, very cold. That feels good, but I think it's just a little rich. It's not clean. Can you hear that? Oh, sounds a bit funny. Still sounds good though. Okay. Well, I think it's what it's doing is I think it's running a little bit rich. I did ride it the other day and it was doing similar things. We disconnected the choke because I think the choke cable is about 5 mils too short, so it's pulling the choke up. We've disconnected that and it still seems to be running rich. I don't know if the choke is pulling itself up now or something while it's disconnected, so we're gonna have to check that out. But this thing is looking so good. It's riding pretty good for what it is. It feels quite solid, very different to my one. I think it looks awesome. So in the next video, I think we need to take this for a proper ride. So if you want to be kept up to date with those types of videos, remember to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to support us directly, hit the join button, join our membership program, follow us on Instagram, and we'll check you in the next one. Peace. You with your silly zooms.